guys, it's Trina and this is my TBR for March. There are 5 books that I'm really hoping to read this month, and then at the end of this video I'm also going to talk about some of the March new releases that I am most anticipating. Here are the 5 books that I'm wanting to read this month. First up is one of my most anticipated releases of last month. It only came out on February 28th, so I haven't gotten it yet, but that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is a book that was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and I believe that the main character, her friend, was the victim of police brutality. It's going to be a great examination of police brutality from a black perspective, and this is an own voices story. I've heard a lot of people saying that there's also a great emphasis on family relationships, and there's a really sweet romance in this one. So as soon as I can grab my copy, this is one that I definitely want to read ASAP. Next on my TBR is a book that I have from my library that is expiring soon, and I definitely want to read it before I have to turn it back in. That is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicolai. This one is another own voices story. It's about a Jamaican girl. Her family are undocumented immigrants and they are facing deportation, and I believe the entire story takes place over just one day. While she is like dealing with the paperwork of all this and preparing to leave the country, she crosses paths with a boy, and I do believe that this is a romance. I did read Everything by her, and I have a lot of issues with that book that I've had since the moment I read it, and I regret not making a book talk on it, but I do have a full review on Goodreads about my thoughts on that book. But I did really enjoy her writing, so I've been looking forward to more by her. Next up is a classic. I told you guys last month that I have joined a book club that is reading all classic dystopians this year, and this month the book they have chosen is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I have never read this one before. There is a Netflix series that I think is Netflix, is coming out soon, and I think that's probably why they chose this one for this month. But this is a dystopian world where there's something up with like reproduction. Women are not having kids, so young women who are handmaids, they are valued for their ovaries, and they're basically sold off to families with the sole purpose of like, you are their property and you have to produce children for them. So this is a dystopian society about women's reproductive rights. And the interesting thing about this one is the main character we follow knew the world before this society was implemented. So it sounds interesting to me, and hopefully I will get it read by the end of this month. The next book on my TBR, you guys helped me choose, or if you follow me on Twitter, you helped me choose. I gave you guys a poll of 4 books that I was interested in reading soon and asked you guys to vote. And very, very narrowly, the winner of that poll was Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colthurst. This is a young adult fantasy book. I don't know if it's going to be a series or not. I actually need to look that up. But this is about a princess who is betrothed to a prince of another kingdom, but she ends up falling for his sister instead. So this one has gotten a lot of hype for having a female-female relationship in a fantasy book. It came out again at the end of last year, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I really am looking forward to reading it this month. The last book that is on my actual TBR is City of Saints and Thieves by Natalie C. Anderson. This is a YA thriller set in Kenya. I don't know too much about what the mystery of the story is about, but I do think it has something to do with the main character wanting to get revenge. So a revenge thriller sounds very interesting, and the reason that this one is on my TBR this month is because this is a 2017 debut, and this is set in Africa, and 2 of my goals for this year was that I wanted to read more debuts, and I wanted to read more books that are set around the world. So this fits 2 of those goals, so I am hoping that I can get to this one this month. So now I want to talk to you guys about what new releases that I am the most excited about in March. When I looked at my Goodreads like to read shelf and sorted it by release date, there are like 7 or 8 books coming out in March that I have marked as want to read, but only 3 of them are books that I am like super excited about. The others I kind of just read over the summary and was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for that one right now. So right now, there are really just 3. And the first of those is Your Welcome Universe by Whitney Gardner. This one comes out on March 7th. And this one follows an Indian American girl who is deaf, and she gets kicked out of her school because one of her best friends had been bullied, and she stands up for her friend, and whatever it was that she did gets her kicked out. And so she's now going to a new school. It's been recommended to me many times for having deaf representation. That was going to be a 2017 release. So I am looking forward to this one, and hopefully I will read this one as soon as I can get my hands on it. I'm also looking forward to Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which comes out on March 28th. I don't feel like I am as big of a Laini Taylor fan as a lot of other booktubers are, but I do enjoy her writing and I enjoyed her first world and characters, so I am looking forward to this one even though I have no idea what it's about and I have read the synopsis and I still have no idea what it's about. I think this is just one of those fantasy books that I'm not going to be able to tell you what it's about until I actually sit down and read it because it seems like a lot is happening here. And my last most anticipated release for this month is also coming out on March 28th. That is Saga Volume 7, which is an adult comic sci-fi series, and I have really enjoyed the first 6 volumes. Well, really enjoyed is maybe an over-exaggeration. I kind of have mixed feelings about some parts of it, but it is one that has really grown as it has gone on, and I am invested in these characters' lives, so I want to read this one. And those are the only 3 releases that I'm super looking forward to this month. So if there's anything that I have missed, let me know because I'm sure that I'm just unaware of a lot of books coming out this month. If there's anything that you are looking forward to that's releasing in March, let me know that down below. And also let me know what is on your TBR for this month. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the comments. Bye!